Welcome back, everyone. You know the drill. This is the deep dive, where you give us the source and we take a deep dive into it for you.
Right to the good stuff. No messing around.
Exactly. And this time, you guys sent in the Nintendo Direct from March 27th, 2025.
A lot to unpack there. A real buffet of upcoming Nintendo Switch games.
You said it. So we are talking puzzle games, RPGs, life sims, you name it, it was probably there.
Even a rhythm-based combat game. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, that's pretty creative.
Yeah, for sure. So buckle up, because we are going to try to hit the highlights. And hopefully by the end, you'll have a good idea of what to look out for in the coming months.
Sounds good to me. Where do we even begin?
Well, how about with a new game in a series that's gotten a lot of buzz lately, the Somnium Files?
Oh, yeah. Escape from the Deep Dive.
Yeah.
Or Dante. I've seen it called both.
Right. So this one puts you in the role of Special Agent Codename Date. Now he's got this AI partner in his left eye, IBA.
Pretty cool concept.
Yeah, and this time you're on the hunt for Iris, who's an internet idol that's somehow trapped in an escape game.
Okay. So right off the bat, we've got that blend of real-world investigation, interviews and things.
But then you also have these dream sequences.
Ah, I see. Where you have to dive into people's subconscious to, uncover clues.
Yeah. And not only that, but these dream environments, they're fully explorable, filled with, get this, mind-bending puzzles.
That's kind of a signature of the Somnium Files series. It's not just finding the clues, it's figuring out what they mean, how they fit together.
Right. And the dream environments, they add this whole other layer to that.
Yeah.
Because you're literally dealing with the logic of dreams.
Exactly. It's not going to be straightforward. I'm really interested to see how they play with that.
Me too. And for anyone who's eager to jump in, mark your calendars because this one's hitting the Switch on July 25th.
That's not too far off.
Nope. All right, moving right along, let's go to something with a bit more of a historical vibe. Rio Remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army.
Okay. This one is set in the capital city during, I believe it was Taisho 20.
Right. And you play as Ryo Kusunoha, who's an apprentice detective with a twist.
Slight twist.
He's also a devil summoner.
Oh, wow. That's kind of a unique combination.
It is, and the cool thing is how they weave those two elements together. So it's not your typical detective case.
More of a supernatural slant.
Exactly. And when it comes to combat, you've got this real-time system where you have to work with your summoned demons. Target weaknesses, time your attacks. It's very strategic.
I bet. And you can actually convert enemy demons to your side?
You can. And they can help you in the investigations, too.
So the choices you make in combat have a real impact outside of battles.
For sure. I mean, it looks really promising, definitely going on my wish list. This one comes out June 19th.
Nice. I'll mark that down.
Pre-orders also start that same day, later in the day.
Good to know.
All right. Ready for something a little darker?
Hit me with it.
Okay. Shadow Labyrinth.
Ooh, even the name sounds ominous.
Right. So imagine this. You wake up, no memories, in this strange, strange world, and the first thing you see is this yellow orb named Puck.
Uh-huh. That's not creepy at all.
Not at all. And Puck is supposedly there to guide you, but his true motives, not so clear.
That's a bit unsettling.
Understatement. But the gameplay looks wild. So you have this phase shift mechanic where you can combine with Puck to reach new areas.
Okay. So there's some puzzle solving there.
Definitely. But then there are these hostile creatures, and you can get this temporarily fuse into this powerful Gaia form to fight them.
So it's like switching between exploration and these intense combat moments.
Yeah. And to make things even more interesting, you can collect resources by, consuming your prey.
Whoa. So like a survival element too, where you get stronger by literally absorbing the essence of what you defeat.
Yep. It's giving me some serious dark Pac-Man vibes.
That's actually a really good way to put it.
Right. You've got the familiar maze-like environment, but then this whole other layer of, darkness on top of it.
Yeah, that's Shadow Labyrinth for you, coming out July 18th.
All right, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about a blast from the past, Patapon.
The classics.
The classics. They're releasing Patapon 1+2 Replay, a bundle of remasters for the Switch.
Nice. I loved those games back in the day.
Yeah, they were so unique. It's all about using drum beats to command your little Patapon army.
Patapon to move forward. Patapon to attack.
Exactly. And if you get your rhythm just right, you trigger fever mode.
Oh, yeah, where your Patapons get all powered up.
Exactly. And don't forget the different types of Patapons. You've got your Capon on horseback, your shield-wielding Tapon.
Each one has its own strengths, so you got to figure out the right combination for each battle.
Oh, definitely. It's a lot more strategic than it might look at first glance.
And they're remasters, right. So we can expect some upgraded visuals,
Yeah.
maybe some new features.
Yeah, definitely. They haven't given us all the details yet, but I'm excited to see what they've done with it.
Me too. That's July 11th for Patapon 1+2 replay.
And now for something a bit more relaxed. Story of Seasons. Grand Bazaar.
This one's set in a super charming town called Zephyr Town, nestled in this valley where there's always a nice breeze.
And it's a farming sim, you know?
Yeah.
But with a really interesting twist. It all revolves around this big weekly bazaar.
Ah, so it's not just tending your crops and animals, you're actually selling your goods and helping to revitalize the market.
Exactly. And of course, you've got the whole social aspect, building relationships with the townspeople. It looks really charming.
Yeah, and I like how they incorporate the wind into the gameplay. Like, it's not just a visual thing. It can actually affect your crops, how you travel, things like that.
It's a nice touch. Story of Seasons, Grand Bazaar comes out August 27th with pre-orders going live later today.
I'll also check that out.
All right, next up, we've got something a little more mysterious. They didn't give us a title, but they did show some footage that looks very, very Metroid Prime.
Metroid Prime 5.
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
So this one takes place on a planet called Voss, an inverted jungle with a huge, massive tree in the middle.
Okay, and Samus is there.
She is, but she's stranded. And the main goal, at least from what we saw, is to escape.
Sounds intriguing. How do you even go about escaping a whole planet?
Well, from the looks of it, there are these stone figures and relics, and by scanning them, Samus can create a path forward.
Okay, so a lot of puzzle solving involved.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
And of course, it wouldn't be Metroid without some dangerous alien creatures. They showed some pretty creepy ones.
Right, you gotta have something to shoot at.
Of course. But here's where things get really interesting. Samus gets these ancient psychic powers.
Whoa, hold on. Psychic powers, that's new, right?
Totally new, and she can use them for all sorts of things. Operating machinery, opening doors, and they even showed her controlling the trajectory of her beings, which I'm assuming means projectiles.
That could change the gameplay in a big way. We're not just talking about missiles anymore.
Exactly. It's a huge mystery. Where did these powers come from? What's their purpose? Hopefully we'll get some answers soon.
I'm definitely curious about that.
All right, from the depths of space to something a bit more lighthearted. Disney Villains' Cursed Cafe.
That sounds so whimsical. What's the premise there?
So, picture a regular, everyday coffee shop, but then, poof, it's magically transformed into a potion cafe.
Okay, I like where this is going.
And you, the player, become the potionista.
So you're brewing up magical concoctions.
Exactly. But you're not just making any old potion, you're serving them to Disney villains.
Oh, that's a fun twist. I can already imagine the possibilities. Ursula sipping on a seaweed smoothie, Gaston demanding a protein shake with extra oomph.
And it's not just about serving drinks. There's someone named Ima who helps you enhance your ingredients so you can get super creative with what you brew up.
And what's the goal? Just to make the tastiest potions ever.
It's more than that. The potions you make actually influence the storylines of the villains. So depending on what you give them, things can play out differently.
That's a pretty neat connection between the gameplay and the narrative.
I thought so too. And hey, Disney Villains' Cursed Cafe is actually available right now.
Really? As in, right this second.
Later today.
I might have to check that out.
All right, from potions and villains to, well, more magic. This time, it's Witchbrook.
Okay, I'm sensing a theme here. But tell me more about this one.
So Witchbrook is all about attending Witchbrook College, a school where you learn all about, well, magic.
I can already imagine the classes. Potions, charms, herbology.
Oh, they've got all that. They show some scenes with magic circles for rituals, broom flying lessons. It looks really in-depth.
You're basically going from a witch in training to, I guess, a full-fledged magic user.
Yeah. But it's not just about academics. There are all these extracurricular activities, too. Hanging out with your friends, doing part-time jobs to earn some extra cash. And you can even use your magic to craft and sell items.
So there's a whole social aspect to it, too. And did I hear something about online co-op?
You did. You can play with up to 4 friends online.
That's awesome. You can team up with your friends and do all sorts of magical mischief.
Exactly. Witchbrook is coming out this winter.
All right, what's next?
Next, we've got something with a really unique art style. The Eternal Life of Goldman. It's a hand-drawn platforming adventure.
Hand-drawn, you say.
Hand-drawn. And the visuals are stunning.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's it about?
Your mission is to eliminate a mysterious deity. And you do this by exploring this expansive archipelago where, according to the description, nightmares and wonder collide.
Sounds pretty intense. What's your main weapon?
A cane.
A cane.
Yeah, but get this, you can upgrade it with magical parts.
So it becomes like a magical staff.
Exactly. It can do all sorts of things, help you explore, fight enemies. It looks really cool.
I bet. And the story. Is there any more info on the deity you're supposed to defeat?
Not a lot yet, but it definitely looks like the kind of game with a rich lore and a deep story.
Right, you're uncovering the secrets of this archipelago as you go.
Exactly. The Eternal Life of Goldman also comes out this winter.
All right, so we've had fantasy, we've had mystery. What else did Nintendo throw at us?
Well, how about a tribute to a gaming legend?
Oh, do tell.
It's the 40th anniversary of Gradius, and to celebrate, they're releasing Gradius Origins.
Nice. What's in the collection?
It's a pretty hefty package.
Mm.
We're talking Gradius, Salamander, Life Force, Gradius 2, Gradius 3, and Salamander 2, the classic.
Wow, that's a serious lineup.
And not only that, but for some of the games, they're including multiple versions.
Like different regional releases?
Yep, and even versions from different launch years, so you can really see how the series evolved over time.
That's pretty cool. It's not just playing the games, it's like a history lesson.
Exactly. But wait, there's more.
Seriously.
Seriously. They're also including a brand new entry in the series, Salamander 3.
Whoa, a brand new Salamander game. That's huge.
I know, right? I mean, who doesn't love a good shoot 'em up?
It's especially a classic like Salamander, August 7th. Got to mark that down.
Pre-orders for Gradius Origins go live later today.
Perfect.
Okay, you ready for something completely different?
Always. Hit me.
Rift of the Necrodancer, a rhythm-based combat game.
Okay, that sounds like an interesting combination.
It is. So basically you have different lanes and monsters are coming at you, but instead of just button mashing, you have to press the corresponding buttons in each lane in rhythm with the music.
So timing is everything. You got to be on beat to fight effectively.
Exactly. And they've got epic boss battles, mini games, even remix stages to keep things fresh.
That's cool. And leaderboards.
Yeah.
Any competitive aspect.
Oh, yeah, they've got global
I
leaderboards.
can see people getting really into that.
Yeah, I think so too. And for anyone who loved the music from Celeste, they're releasing a paid DLC pack with music from that game.
I'm sure they'll do more music packs too. There are tons of great game soundtracks out there.
Right. And they actually confirmed that more DLC is on the way. Rift of the Necrodancer launches today.
I love when they do that. Shadow drop a game during the presentation.
Me too. All right, now let's talk about something a little cuter.
Cuter. Are we talking about cats?
Close. Tamagotchi.
Oh, the nostalgia.
Right. So they announced Tamagotchi Plaza, a brand new game in the Tamagotchi Connection series.
Awesome. I've always loved the Tamagotchi games. What's the new one about?
It looks like you're in charge of this plaza filled with different shops. An eyewear shop, a dentist, an afternoon tea shop, 12 shops in total.
So it's like a whole little Tamagotchi town.
Yeah. And your job is to run these shops, provide good customer service. And the better you do, the higher your ratings.
And that leads to shop upgrades.
You got it. And the more you upgrade, the more Tamagotchi characters you meet.
That sounds like a lot of fun, especially for those who love collecting.
Definitely. They said there are over 100 new and classic Tamagotchi to discover. Tamagotchi Plaza hits the Switch on June 27th.
I can't wait.
All right, now for one last trip to the world of Pokemon. Pokemon Legends ZA.
Ooh, a new Pokemon game.
And this one takes place entirely in Lumio City from Pokemon X and Y.
Oh, that's cool. I loved that city. So we're back in Kalos.
We are. And you start off by choosing from one of 3 partner Pokemon. Then the story focuses on this urban redevelopment plan run by Cortico Inc. Their whole goal is to help people and Pokemon live together in harmony.
That's actually really timely. It feels like there's always that question of how we coexist with nature, even in urban spaces.
Yeah, and they're really leaning into that with this game. They've even added these areas called wild zones.
Wild zones in the middle of a city.
Yeah, they're like these special environments where wild Pokemon can thrive. You can catch them there, battle them, but be careful, they're not all friendly.
Oh, so there's a bit of danger too. I like that. Keeps things exciting.
Yeah, and you can find Pokemon outside of the wild zones too. They showed some hang out on rooftops. So it sounds like there's a lot of exploring to do.
Sounds like it.
Oh, and get this, at night, the city transforms, like visually. And they have this whole tournament called ZA Royale where trainers compete in these special battle zones.
Okay, I'm officially hooked. Tell me more about the battles.
So you can strike first for a surprise attack if you're sneaky enough. And of course, using super effective moves is key.
Makes sense. Anything else?
Oh, and Mega Evolution is back.
Yes. I was hoping they'd bring that pick.
Me too. And there's this ranking system from Z to A. If you make it to A rank, you get a wish granted. No word on what that wish could be, though.
Oh, that's a cool little mystery. Makes you wonder what's at stake.
Exactly. Pokemon Legends ZA is coming out later this year.
Okay, so a ton of new games. Anything else from the Direct? Any surprises?
Oh, they did mention something interesting that's coming in the future. Virtual game cards for digital games.
Virtual game cards. What does that even mean?
So imagine this. You buy a digital game, right? But instead of it just appearing in your library, it shows up as a virtual game card on your Switch.
Okay, I can picture that. So like a digital representation of a game cartridge.
Yeah, exactly. And you can actually load and eject these cards to manage which games are playable.
So if you have multiple Switch consoles, you could theoretically move your games between them.
That's the idea. It'll require some local communication at first to authorize it. But yeah, you could play your games on different devices.
Interesting. And they're even talking about a lending system.
Yeah.
So you could lend a virtual game card to someone in your Nintendo account family group.
Yep. For like 2 weeks, and then it would automatically return to your library.
That's a pretty cool way to blend the convenience of digital with the, I don't know, the shareability of physical games.
Right. I mean, it's still in development, but I think it has a lot of potential.
I agree. It'll be interesting to see how they implement it and what people think of it.
All right, back to the games we know are coming out. We've got Saga Frontier 2 Remastered, a classic RPG getting the HD treatment.
Ah, yes, Saga Frontier 2. The game with two main heroes, Gustav and Will. Their stories intertwine across generations. It's a classic RPG experience.
And this remaster isn't just a visual upgrade. They've added some brand new events to the story, expanding on the world of Sandale.
Nice. So even if you've played the original, there's something new to discover.
Exactly. And they've made some changes to the gameplay, too. You can team up with even more characters in battle. And there's this really cool parameter inheritance system where you can transfer stats between party members.
Ah, so there's a lot more strategic depth to the team building.
For sure. And if you're looking for a challenge, they've added even tougher bosses that you can fight after you finish the main story.
That's a good way to keep players engaged.
Right. Saga Frontier 2 Remastered is out later today.
I know a few RPG fans who are going to be very happy about that.
Me too. All right, next we've got some beautiful puzzle games. Monument Valley 1 and 2 and 3.
Monument Valley, I love those games.
They are amazing, right? So the first two are getting enhanced releases on the Switch. And then there's a brand new game, Monument Valley 3.
Wow, that's awesome news. I've been waiting for a new Monument Valley game.
So in the first game, you play as Princess Ida. And it's all about manipulating these optical illusions to create pathways and solve puzzles. It's very Escher-esque.
Right, and the atmosphere is so serene. It's very relaxing to play.
Exactly. The second game is a bit different. You play as Ro, and it's more about guiding her child and discovering the secrets of sacred geometry.
And both remasters come with all the additional chapters and DLC.
Yep, the complete package. And for Monument Valley 3, we know that the new character is named Newer. And they're on a quest to restore light to the world.
I can't wait to see what that looks like.
Yeah.
The visuals in those games are always breathtaking.
Absolutely. Monument Valley 1 and 2 are out on April 15th with pre-orders starting later today. And then Monument Valley 3 is coming sometime this summer.
Yeah, wait.
All right, now for something that's a bit more, well, sporty. Everybody's Golf, or Hot Shots, as some people know it.
A classic.
It's getting a brand new entry on the Switch.
Nice. I always enjoyed the pick-up and play nature of those games.
Yeah, it's very accessible. You just aim and time your button presses to hit the ball, but there's still a lot of skill involved. You can do backspins, side spins, and the challenge modes really put you to the test.
Then they've got tournaments too, right?
Yeah, you can compete against rivals. And they're adding this new mode called Wacky Golf with some crazy elements.
Wacky golf. Like what?
They showed holes that actually pull your ball off course and obstacles that fall from the sky.
Oh, that sounds pretty chaotic. Fun, though.
I think so, too. And of course, you can play with friends, both local and online multiplayer for up to 4 players.
Perfect for a party game.
Definitely. No firm release date yet, but Everybody's Golf is slated to come out this year.
Sweet. I'll look forward to that.
And to close out the show, we have a superhero showdown, Marvel Cosmic Invasion.
All right, I'm already picturing it.
Yeah.
Epic battles, cool powers, probably some witty
Oh,
banter.
you know it. So the basic idea is you team up two Marvel heroes to fight against, well, evil.
That sounds about right.
They showed a roster of 15 characters, including Spider-Man, Wolverine.
Nice. Some fan favorites in there.
Yeah, for sure. And the combat looks really fluid. You can swap between your two heroes at any time.
So you can use their strengths to your advantage. Like if one's good at close quarters combat and the other's a ranged fighter, you can switch depending on the enemy.
Exactly. And they've got co-op, too, both local and online for up to 4 players.
Oh, so you could team up with friends and assemble your own superhero squad.
Yeah. Marvel Cosmic Invasion is coming out this winter.
Well, that was quite the Nintendo Direct. There really is something for everyone in there. Puzzle games, RPGs, sports, superheroes.
It's incredible how many different types of games they're putting out on the Switch. So for you listening, what stood out to you? What are you most excited about?
What are you adding to your wish list?
Yeah.
And just to throw this out there, with the whole virtual game card thing, I wonder how that's going to change how we think about owning and sharing games in the future.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It's definitely something to think about. All right, well, that's it for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into, well, whatever you guys send our way.